There we are. Laura, thank you. Thank you so, so much for joining me on the screen tonight. This is so exciting. I know you and I've known you for quite a while on Shelley's Feel It Beat and Lifestyle programs. And I was so fortunate to interview you last year. I guess it is maybe about a year ago.
Yeah, I think so.
Yourself and your sister on the sofa together. It was like the Laurel and Hardy show when you were both there together. So this is an absolute pleasure and honour to have you back on the sofa and just got yourself to me. No, me to yourself.
Thank you.
Laura, please introduce yourself. Tell everybody a wee bit about where you are and a wee bit about your family life too. That would be amazing. Thank you.
No worries. Hello, my lovely Leslie. So I'm Laura, and I am a mum of two little ones and a crazy spaniel who hopefully won't make an appearance during the interview, and wife to Jules. I live in the countryside of Angus, and I lead a really busy life, quite a demanding job, and yeah, alongside a demanding job and the juggle of family life and being a friend, a sibling, a daughter, all of these things just that life throws at you. So that's who I am.
Well, Laura, you are a friend to many and to many of Shelley's clients as well on her lifestyle program. But what I want to talk to you about tonight is all about mindset mastery. Now, you're as a long-term client of Shelley's, I'm really interested to know why you decided to join Shelley's Mindset Mastery program last month. What was it that made you decide to come on board?
Well, for me, why would I not? For me, having been in FLB, the big core of it really, I think, is the mindset. You've got the food, the movement, the lifestyle, all of these things. But I think without the mindset, I don't know if we would have so much success in the program. Personally, I don't think I would have. I think I've had a shift of mindset to be able to progress as a person. I definitely think that I would have had serious fear of missing out if I hadn't joined in.
Yes.
And I just recognise it's something that Shelley has such a passion and a talent for. And I wanted to support and benefit from that, I suppose, in many ways. So going along with it, really.
That's brilliant. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, because it's so true. I mean, for us that have followed Shelley and been part of her programs for years, yes, we can follow a diet. Yes, we can follow workouts, get the education. But you're so right, that mindset part of the program that Shelley brings to us. She's done mindset mornings over the years with us. Every morning sitting there with a cup of coffee, getting a wee chat with Shelley on the sofa, or in the evenings. Mindset is just something that a lot of people really find hard to work on. So when this intensive 2-week program came on the go, so many of her current clients, like yourself, jumped on board because they knew that they were going to get Shelley for 2 weeks every single day talking mindset, the bit that we really, really need to work on hard. So tell me, what did you find? What did you think when the program started? Intensive 2 weeks, Shelley delivering it to you every single day. What was it you enjoyed most out of that program?
Hard always to put things into, what did you enjoy most? I think just the fact that, you've got the intensity and the reminder of how important mindset is. I think if you don't exercise it, if you don't practice it, if you don't work at it, it's like anything, it just goes away. And I think for me, it was a real, trigger point of a reminder of mindset, something we're working on. I encourage it in all kind of walks of life and what I do in my job and at home and with my family. And I think the fact that it was a real structured program, it had a booklet that went with it, and who doesn't love a booklet and a wee bit of homework? I think there was a real direction with it, but being led very much from the front by Shelley. And I think fueled by a lot of the mindset programs and things that she's worked on recently, she's really investing in the mindset, not just, going by her own personal experience, but still trying to pull in from external big names in mindset world and, using that to fuel things forward for other people. And I think that is just really key.
It's so true. It's absolutely true. And it's something that we never stop learning from. because we've always got so much things happening in our lives anyway, curveballs or exciting things, not so exciting things. So our mindset's constantly having to work and adjust and juggle everything
It's
else.
absolutely that. And I think that, mindset is, fixed or growth, whichever way, and we have to work hard to make it growth all the time. This morning, my washing line broke. I got trapped in the driveway because the oil tanker was delivering to a neighbour, got stuck behind a tatty vehicle, the road closure, and I still got my kids to school in time. And I didn't believe it was going to be a terrible day. I just thought, well, that was a wee bit of a tricky negotiation. But, I
Yes.
think people say, go back to bed or, get on with these things. But if you can just flip it that, well, it all worked out okay in the end. And I think you do have to work at it though, because life is so challenging at times. And, personal things get thrown at you, family stuff, work challenges. And if you can't just keep pushing that wee bit underneath and, working to be our best selves mindset wise, I think,
Oh, Laura.
we're on a bit of a hiding to nothing if we don't keep trying.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for saying that, because that is every day. That
Mm.
is every single person, every single day. It doesn't matter what you do in life, this sort of things happen. Hopefully not my washing line breaking. However, yeah, I'll spin it. I'll find a way of turning that around. So in the programme, you did touch on it. We had structure. I mean, Shelley brought so much structure to us. There was a time scale to work alongside. We had our modules that we followed every day, and we had our homework to do before we returned the next day. Tell me about how that time scale, the modules and the homework, how did that whole part of the programme work for you? Did you feel enough time was given? Did you feel there was enough knowledge and understanding? Just explain to me, Laura, how you felt that all went together.
I think that's exactly it, Leslie. It was well put together. It had a structure. I was very good to not read to the back of the booklet. I went with it as it went. I actually didn't manage to listen to it live every single day at the time, just to do with bedtimes with wee people. So I listened to it in my own time. And I think the fact that you had a daily challenge and a daily homework as part of your progress, it's very easy to listen to that and go, that's great. Oh, wow, wow, feel good, fire in the belly. And then you go away, life takes over and you forget it. So I think the intensity, and I'm using the word intensity, but I don't think we should get the idea that it's, brain cramming and intense. I think it's inspiring as much as intense and kind of the powerful, but it kept the momentum going, I think is what I mean by intensity. And some of the stuff that maybe I had an awareness of and had parked somewhere back in my mind, and it gave me a wee reminder of things that you should keep doing on that daily or weekly progressing yourselves forward.
Laura, thank you. And I keep saying thank you because it is so, so nice to hear how it has affected Shelley's clients, how the programme reached you and how you have really taken things on board. Now, like you say, I mean, Shelley was live with us every evening at 8 o'clock. She brought her programme to us. But it is recorded, it's on the page, and it's something, because she's got clients all around the world, different time zones, shift work, busy mums, it is something you could go back, you could watch at any time, but you could rewatch and you could keep on watching as often as you wanted to really get it in here. And I think that's something, just like you said there, so easy to watch, listen, but maybe going on and doing stuff at the same time, you're not really listening, you're not really taking it on board.
I think that's exactly it. You need to be quite self-disciplined and put aside the time. You've made a financial investment, so you need to make the actual investment. Otherwise, you're just kidding yourself, really, I think. And I think when Shelley's delivering it, you could be watching it whatever time and you still would believe it's just you and Shelley on the screen.
Absolutely.
And not like she's not talking to however many hundred people, but she's just talking to me. She knows what's in my head, she knows what's in my heart. And she's very clever. She doesn't know everybody's personal life stories, but just knows how to get it all to the forefront of you for progressing. I think it's very clever.
She is very clever. And I mean, I know we've followed her for years, but she still manages, doesn't she? She just pulls you in. She just has this amazing knack of just really getting into your head. Yeah, very clever indeed. So although the programme lasted for 2 weeks and we had Shelley live for 2 weeks, she kept the page in the group open for a further 2 weeks. This allowed you to keep going back and revisiting and maybe checking over other ladies' notes that's within the community. And all this hundreds of women all sharing their thoughts or their progress or asking questions, looking for support. How did the community side of the Mindset Mastery Programme affect yourself, Laura?
I think it's like an extension of where I feel like FLB was. So there were two separate pages, but I think the safety of the group, the fact that some people were very open at expressing things. So maybe the mindset had triggered an emotion or a childhood thing or a life experience, and they were at that point in their life where they were ready to share. And what I noticed is when people were sharing that, the absolute pulling together of love, care, and camaraderie, if you like. But similarly, people who didn't want to share that level of personal information, or who maybe didn't have those traumatic events to talk of, I don't think would feel that they couldn't if they wanted to. And I certainly don't think that you have to. You could watch from afar. You could probably engage in none of the chat if you wanted to and take it all completely for you. But I personally feel that that empowerment of people working together is really, really, it's quite a precious thing, actually, and I think that it is a safe space. And when you're putting yourself a wee bit out your comfort zone like this, I think that it's a good thing to remind you that everything's going to be protected and safe, and it's okay. That's where the magic's going to happen.
And thank you for saying that, Laura, because I've never actually sat with a therapist or anything like that. I can picture it, or I've seen things like that on the telly. Sorry, I'm looking there because that's where my telly is. But it's that one-to-one, sitting on the sofa, sitting with the clipboard type thing. This has some basics, is it similar, but when it's just a one-to-one, it's difficult to share. You maybe feel a bit embarrassed or a bit sort of drawn attention to yourself. Whereas on a Facebook group, a safe and secure Facebook group with hundreds of people, strangers to most, you feel almost this urge and this ability to share some of your most deepest and inner thoughts and feelings. Doesn't that make it easier than sitting there in a one-to-one on a sofa with a therapist?
Absolutely. And I also think that for some people that maybe have been burrowing a lot and coping with a lot, it might just bring something out to the surface that they then feel that they want to progress either with a therapist or with a close friend or such and such. And maybe didn't, so many people just accept how their lives have been and they don't really know that it was traumatic, or they don't know the level of it until maybe they actually start digging and they realize it's maybe been holding them back a wee bit. So I suppose that's where the mindset is, quite powerful, and just giving somebody a wee bit of self-belief to try and take things forward. And I think that whole idea of being in the moment and in the power of now, obviously we know the power of now, and the kind of not thinking too far back sometimes and not thinking in the future, but just what am I feeling now? And sometimes to do that you have to unpick the past, I suppose. But yeah, just getting that idea of being present and stopping and thinking in the chaotic world that we're all in, and society's creating that world and making it, have fast pace. So sometimes just that pause of, am I all right? How am I doing? What do I need to work on? And where do I want to go?
Laura, thank you. Gosh, I could sit and listen to you for long enough. I really, really.
Not many people say that, Leslie.
Oh, I absolutely could. So my final question would be the next Mindset Mastery Programme. Laura, is that something that you would consider moving on to, Shelley's next one? And would you also, I know your answer to this, but would you recommend Mindset Mastery Programme of Shelley's to others?
The answer, of course, is going to be yes. I just think that it is, like I say, Shelley's got the essence of what mindset is. She's delivering it really well. So I feel like if people can get to the place where they can access it, I can't see why you wouldn't. And if you can't quite access it, find a way, because you're going to benefit without a doubt. And I think, anybody's going to benefit from that. Somebody that's been on FLB forever, somebody who's like fits that mindset stuff you're all talking about. I just think that you can access it at whichever level you're at. whichever part of your life you're in. I recommended it to some close friends recently who, you know, obviously knew about FLB from the background, but have gained loads from it. And I think it's, as I said, the kind of pressures that life puts upon us, we need to be quite skilled and equipped to be able to challenge these and work through them. So it makes you take stock of where you're at, where you want to go, what you've been through. And I think just everybody, including your own self and everybody around you, can benefit from that.
Absolutely.
With the drip, you either might drip it onto somebody else. That doesn't
Yeah.
sound quite right, but you know what I mean.
Oh, I
It's
absolutely
that
get that.
cascading,
Yeah.
and it's sharing, I suppose, spreading the sparkle, spreading the unicorn dust, whatever you want to call it. Just maybe getting other people to maybe get to a place where they can feel good and progress themselves a bit.
Absolutely is, Laura. And I hear this so many times within the program as well. Like people will say, how do you always manage to find a positive, or why are you always happy, or how do you manage to do that? And it is just purely because of what's going
Hard work.
on in here, constantly working. Laura,
I think, oh,
sorry.
sorry. No, I was
Please,
going to say, one of the things that I'm a big advocate for is I think Shelley has done that really in that mindset, the reminder about how powerful nature is, and just sometimes to stop, look around. And I sound like a bit of an eco warrior saying that, but I think that we don't need big expensive things in our life and whatever. We just need to literally go outside, suck up some fresh air and look around. And if you then exercise that with all the other mindset stuff, you're quids in, really. And I think that there's a good reminder of what's important, people and what's around us.
Laura, it's a perfect way to end this wonderful interview. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying all of that. And thank
you for having me.
Thank you so much. And I will catch up with you very, very soon. Laura, it's been an absolute honour, as always, to spend some time with you. Take care of yourself and enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.